Hey guys, alright, well, wanted to make another video. I got to thinking about watching some of the survival shows on TV, and a couple things I realize is, or I guess maybe what I see is, I don't see a lot of people making charred materials, char cloth, charred barks, or charred punkwoods and stuff like that. So, and I just wasn't really, I really don't understand why. I guess in the Pathfinder system, you're always taught to, conserve your resources, prepare for your next fire, because I might have one surefire, I might have one micro inferno, mini inferno, wet fire, one of those type situations, and I may have one. Well, if I use that one, what do I got next? So I'm a big advocate of charred materials, whether that be char cloth or charred natural materials. So I always noticed that nobody ever uses that. Kind of like the same way as most TV shows I've seen, they never really try and search out and find for fatwood. I'm not familiar with every part of the world, but I've been to a lot of places and I've seen pine trees in a lot of different places. Anyways, it's getting on a rant, it's getting somewhere else, but I just wanted to kind of find some punkwood and then char it, and then we'll light it after that. So give me a second and we'll go find some punkwood, and we'll show you what that looks like and what to look for. Alright guys, well, this is what I wanted to show you, and this is pretty easy to find. This stuff's kind of everywhere out in the woods, and basically you're just looking for something that's fallen over, it's dead. It's kind of like, I guess the best way to describe that is spongy. It's kind of like you can almost crumble it in your hands. So what I like to do is just go ahead and grab it, and I grab like a pretty good handful. Some of the stuff's wet, it's been raining off and on today and the last couple days, and in general I guess, but I like to just grab some of that, and let's grab it all, really, not the whole log, but this big handful here. Then what we'll do is we're going to get a fire going, and then we're going to char this, and then we'll light it. Okay guys, just a little bonus scene as I was walking through the woods here. Just something to keep your eye out for. And basically it's just a big, well, not a big log, but I'd say it's probably 3.5 feet, 4 feet long log, if that's what you want to call it, laying in the woods here. And I'll walk by, and this is the way I like to find my fatwood. A lot of people look for it and the knots on the tree, or where the branches come out and stuff like that. But a lot of times you can find this stuff right on the ground. So I just came by and kind of swatted at this with my knife here, and I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me see if I can get a piece off here. None of this wants to work with me here, but anyway, if you can see that, those are good places to look for fatwood that's dead. But up here, if you can see that, let's see if I can get it closer. Give me 1 sec here. Put my knife away so I don't stab myself. Anyways, if you can see that, that's all good quality stuff there. So a big ton of fatwood there. And we'll keep that in mind for next time. I like to keep a mental note of where I find things, so if I ever need that, there it is. Alright, so what we got here is I just got a big chunk of fatwood here that I'm going to get some scrapings off of. And get some slivers. Like I said, it was raining a little bit. Get some of that bark off. Let's get some of that off. Again, I actually found this big chunk of fat wood, and there's a bigger piece that I actually got this off of. But I got this from, I was fishing and wasn't really having much luck that day. So I was kind of walking around the lake, pretty big lake, and just saw this big huge log sitting there, and it was probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 pounds maybe, and it's just full of fat wood. And I've just been ripping big huge pieces like, oh shoot, pieces like this off for a couple months now. I don't really use that much because fat wood goes a pretty good long ways all by itself. A little bit of a knot there, but we'll get her. So we use this fat wood and maybe some of the shavings to kind of help us along here with the fire, since it's been raining a little bit. So what I like to do is get a little bit of those shavings, and I'll put a little bridge right there. That way when I get it started, I can go ahead and start putting some smalls on there, some small sticks, stuff like that, and get those going. Now I got a couple small twigs here, but I'm also going to help myself out here by, let's see, getting a couple shavings. That way I can kind of put those on as well. Like I said, trying to help myself here because it rained and I don't know if it's going to rain again. So I got a little bit of shavings here. Then I got some small stuff to put on right here. I had a pile of little pieces of fat wood, but I guess I put those right on top of it. But anyways, so we'll see what we can get going here, and then we'll get the fire started, and then we'll make our charred punkwood. There we go. So I'll get my little shavings in here, sprinkle those on. Like I said, I got that bridge there, so I'm just gonna throw these on in a X pattern type. What I'll do is just keep piling those on until my flames are above the fuel that I have on there. I can put some more on there. Now hopefully these twigs aren't too wet, but that fat wood should help it out. So we're gonna get all that down in there that we can to hopefully get those little twigs going. Well, that's starting to get going. Get another couple pieces here. You can hear the water kind of steaming out there. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but it just kind of made like a hissing sound almost. Alrighty, let's see here. Well, this stuff is kind of dead, but I'm trying to get it hot enough to light all the wetter stuff. Well, I think now I can kind of take a break and put my knife away, my ferro rod away. Let that come back up. I think what I'll do is take a piece of this fat wood here, put that baby right on top. Let that air get in there a little bit. There it goes, starting to take off a little bit. Well, what I'll do is I'll let this get bigger, and then once it's a little bigger and I can get a good coal base going, get it a little bigger, I'll cut the camera. Anyways, so what I did was, let me see if you can see this here. Check this out. Oh, too much. Alright, so I put that punkwood in this old coffee can I got. You can see it in there. And I'm just gonna tuck it right in there. Stuck it right up here. Ooh, that's already hot. And we'll let that tin get hot when the punkwood chars. We'll take it off. We'll show you how to light it after that. Alright, so what we got here is we let it kind of die down a little bit. I'm just going to let that last little bit die down, and then I'll get it out of the fire. And then once that cools, I'll show you what it looks like. It's just all black. It looks like charred material. But anyways, we'll let that die down a little bit. Once that dies down, pull it out, let it cool down, and then we'll light it up. Alright guys, well, what you can see here is I just dumped what was in this tin here, or old coffee can. There's a little bit left in there. And I put it in here, just in the lid, just to make it a little easier to be able to get my sparks down into. So I'm just going to take my Opinel, however you say it, pocket knife. Let me see if we can get this here. Nope, there it goes.
Dang, already.
So on the first little spark, there it goes. So you put that right in your tinder bundle, blow it right to flame, just like a piece of char cloth. Or if you had, you know, your ferro rod right into a tinder bundle, you just blow it right to flame just from there. So there it is. Alright guys, well, like I said, I just wanted to show you that. It's a little tip I like to use. I'm a big fan of charred materials, whether it be char cloth, charred punk wood like that, charred barks, cattail, anything like that. I'm a real big fan of that. It's easy to start, in my personal opinion. You can strike that off, you know, I did that off the back of my pocket knife. You can do it off your you know, sheath knife or hip knife, whatever you want to call it. A ferro rod, if you needed to. A flint and steel striker, anything like that. Anyways, not to ramble on, but I just don't see that used very often on TV shows and stuff like that. I guess that's maybe not good drama, but you know, like I said, it just makes it easier for your next fire. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing if you'd like. Any comments, concerns, teach me a lesson, that's fine too. I'm good with that. I like learning. So thanks for watching.